Good afternoon. Last week I spoke to you about top nuggets for home working legal and contractual considerations, and this week I'm following on with nuggets for having healthy remote working scenarios. I mentioned the workplace assessment. So ideally speaking, workplace assessments, whether in the home or in the office, should be conducted by a health and safety consultant. But this may not be possible in the current environment. Accordingly, a self-assessment questionnaire is the practical choice, and this should be created and issued to all employees working remotely, with an obligation on them to complete and return it by a set date. The assessment should cover the usual practical issues, including the work environment, including space, lighting, ventilation, safe access, be free from cables, trips, hazards, etc. Work equipment, including provision of laptops, monitor, keyboard, proper seating, and the ergonomic setup of same for the employee sitting at the desk. But it should also include the following headlines covering employees' well-being: communication, ensuring regular communication; supervision, ensuring the supervision of employees is clear in the role clarification; and a work-life balance. So let's put safety first. Encourage managers to conduct electronic risk assessments with their teams to ensure the home workplace is suitable. Make sure all workers know about your health and safety policies. If you supply equipment, it must pass relevant safety tests. The safety statement is a good way of looking at that, and also looking at your health and safety policies. So just make sure everyone's aware of all of these. Know when to step away from the desk. Be clear about when your working day begins and ends, and take breaks to refresh. When work is over, be sure to switch off to avoid burnout. Cultivate healthy habits such as taking exercise and fresh air every day. Last week I spoke about the research that was carried out saying there was a lot of stress because of home working, so be mindful of that. Minimise stress. People managers should set clear expectations about the way employees should deliver and receive communications throughout the working day. This will help alleviate pressure and anxiety. I have heard anecdotes about employees saying, I can't leave the desk, I don't know when my manager is going to call, I think they might be thinking I'm not doing my work. That's adding extra burden to them. So set times, like put it in your calendar, set up Zoom meetings, whatever, and let people know when they need to be there for you. Another important tip would be to have a daily virtual huddle. This is essential for keeping connected and a means for line managers to check in on their team's physical and mental well-being and discuss any additional support and need to fulfill their roles from home. So, home working may suit some people if they're independent contributors and they like their own individual space, etc. But a lot of people aren't, and they like to be team players and they want to be part of the team and may feel isolated. So know your employee, know what their concerns are, and see what you can do to address them. Foster relationships. Make time for non-work chats as you would in the workplace, and use video calling to maintain face-to-face contact. We probably get into the habit of just picking up the phone when we've got something to ask an employee or they have something to ask you, and it's all work, work, work. And we're forgetting about the social element of that and how are they doing, etc. How's the family doing? So try and just remember all of that and be conscious that you do give time to have little chit-chats as well. Show the big picture, but prepare to be flexible. People managers should remind teams of the big picture and how their work fits into it. Review short-term goals regularly and adjust as needed. If some members can't carry out their usual work, maybe consider other skills they can lend to others to meet team goals. So, really looking at the big picture here, what can they do? Life has changed significantly since COVID. So, organisations have to adapt and change with them. Set expectations and trust your colleagues. Be clear about mutual expectations and trust your colleagues to get on without micromanaging. Focus on results rather than activity. Working relationships can deteriorate quickly and well-being suffer without trust. This goes without saying. Be kind. Remote conversations can easily be misinterpreted as it's harder to read body language, tone of voice and other visual and audio cues. Stay mindful of this when delivering difficult message or feedback. Challenging times can call for greater sensitivity and kindness. So watch out for the body signals, the tone of voice, etc., and just know when you feel someone is being stressed. Discourage presenteeism. What I mean by that is if you're unwell, take leave and do your best to give an update or handover on urgent work. As a manager or team leader, encourage people to take time off if unwell and model the behaviour yourself. Offer support on well-being. Organisations should remind staff of their existing health and well-being benefits, such as employee assistance programmes or occupational health, and how to access them when working remotely. So, in conclusion, as I said, research is indicating that employees are beginning to feel stressed due to their current working conditions. So it is important to be mindful of how the employee is feeling and to carry out your risk assessment and your duties as a manager under the Health and Safety Acts. Workplace assessments, just get one and send it out online and have that completed, and act on any areas that the employee is concerned about. Thank you very much.